All right, family. All right, and an all riggedy right. What is going on this morning? February the 2nd, 2026, old Groundhog Day. Oh, man, family, your boy is hyped, ready to go. We going to get it in. We going to talk about the truth of a thing. And then we're going to go on about our day. TikTok Nation one time. Family, welcome in to another episode of A Different View TikTok Live Edition, where we're going to talk the truth of a thing, not what people want to hear. We'll see which one of these that we reserve for. Might have had the echo on there, so my apologies. We're going to see which one of these that we reserve for the podcast on Spotify. We'll see which episodes we do here. We got a lot to talk about, but we're going to take it up in pieces. Okay. This one that we're going to do here for TikTok is going to be and it's apropos because tonight will be the Monday after the Royal Rumble, right? So we know that thing going to be hype. Your boy is a wrestling fan. We're going to have the conversation in a cultural sense dealing with wrestling, family, because again, wrestling, even though the group want to act like that ain't it, and we're all one and all this kind of thing, playing off of a really true and wholesome human dynamic, societal dynamic in society. They're playing a game, family, with the images of people. We're going to call it out this morning, okay? So y'all, buckle in, lock in, get ready, lock and loaded, right? One time I'd be remiss, right? Just to piggyback off of before we get started here, right? Just to piggyback off of something. That's your boy Bad Bunny, right? Shout out Bad Bunny one time. Family, we playing a game, and as a matter of fact, before I get going any further here, let me just share this. Hang on one second. One more second. We're going to share the good news. The evangel is going on right now. Hang on one second. All right, we're back. Like we were saying, we shouted out Bad Bunny here. We want to give just a wee bit of credit. Nothing too much, right? But just a wee bit of credit to what the brother had to say. Normally we've done podcasts on the Grammys. Really not much to say about the Grammys other than it's going to be, unfortunately we won't be seeing Trevor Noah no more. Unfortunately, President Trump want to get in his bag like Massa normally do, and family. But again, this is bleeding over into a different topic. But we're just going to put this out here, and then we're going to keep it moving. And we'll discuss this on different episodes. So y'all watch out for the different episodes that are coming up, whether they be TikTok Lives or they be on the Spotify podcast. This is a good point to plug this in real quick. You can find the podcast on YouTube. For those who don't already know, if you're new to this, right, new to what I'm talking about, new to this channel, so on and so forth. YouTube at A Different View 80. Of course, here on KJ's Clock, as well as you can find the podcast on Pandora, Apple, and Spotify, all under the title A Different View. And the artist's name is KJ, right? We've been doing this for some time. We're going to keep on doing it till the good Lord says to stop doing it. That's how this works. Okay. And I know for those who have issue, but hey, God talks to me. We get it. We get it, family. But again, people are inspired to do a thing that's a real thing. And again, until it's time to stop doing the thing, we're going to keep on doing it. Right. Not because Massa scare you into stop doing it. We said until it's time to stop. So let's just play this clip here for Mr. Bad Bunny.
Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say eyes out.
And we just going to leave it there, family, right? We don't support the Trail of Tears over here, okay? We not going to act like they're talking about anything else. Let's say it again. We not going to act like they're saying anything else that has to life and godliness, because they're not. They never have. They never will. Sometimes, unfortunately, again, we're not this part we're going to save for other stuff here, because we could bring in folks like just recently, and I've avoided it, but we're going to talk about it because, again, since we're in Black History Month, right? Shout out Black History Month one time. Family, at the end of the day, you got to recognize the people groups on this planet. This is some old school talk that we've talked on the podcast already. But again, repetition is necessary for learning. Massa sat you down in that elementary chair, in that non-elementary chair, in that junior high school, in that high school chair, to make sure you were indoctrinated properly to be able to be good workers for them. Whether it was in the church house, no matter where it was, constant imagery, which is what we're going to get into with wrestling today, of what can't be, should, and should not be. And they are wrong. You cannot regulate that which is not made by you. And this is the part that they fail at every time. Okay. This would include their Christian cheerleader friends. Family, we're saying what it is. When we say Massa and friends, that's a big group. This would also include any Muslim brothers and sisters who get down with Massa. Family, we're not dissing. Okay. The Red Sea slave trade is right there with the transatlantic one. You have to. So when you over in Saudi Arabia and you're okay telling Lash Legend she's overrated, family, we may need to take that with a grain of salt, which we're going to get into in a minute. With that said, let's do the opening and we'll get started. Welcome in, family, a different view family here, who believe in, who love after, who have fun with, because we're going to talk about something that's fun today. Watching the Royal Rumble is a fun thing. Wrestling is supposed to be a fun thing that Massa takes the fun out of, right? So we have fun with it over here. Hunger and thirst, search and seek for that which is a different view. Family, welcome in. Again, today's topic, we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble, okay, that happened over in, I believe, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Okay, so shout out our Arabian, right? Another part of the group of the Semite. Shout y'all out one time. We're talking to people, the different people groups on the planet, family, that share the dark brown and tan skin tones. And while Big Mama or Grandmama, depending on where you're from in the nation, will let you know that all skin folk ain't kinfolk, the point, family, now is to find out where the kin folk are. Again, we've talked about Frank Sanu and Dave Anderson and their conversation back and forth about Frank Sanu's silly proposition that black folks have no culture. That's silly. We're going to try to dissect and mass explain why black folks have no culture. That is a lie. What you mean to say is what we have left, but we have a great culture. Matter of fact, this month, which used to be a week, and in some places, what I've seen, also just a day, where for the Negro, we get to talk about the exploits we have done on these lands that Massa has exploited. Shout out every black Wall Street, every black town burned down by Massa. Ever etched in success and ever etched in theft and destruction, family. For some odd reason, it seems like we don't know our open enemy. Let's get into it. Let's get into the Royal Rumble here. Let's play a little ditty here. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Oh boy.
Athleticism here, isn't it? Living. Oh, God, you didn't want to go up there. A mistake made by Ruka. Tiffany Stratton made her pay. Oh, Bolivia for the win. Liv Morgan, go to WrestleMania. Yes.
Right. So shout out Liv Morgan. Right. Shout out you, sis. Right. I mean, we can make it a little louder. I don't know. I don't know if I have it pulled up here on this. I might not. Yeah, I didn't come through with all the stuff there, so we'll leave it, right? I thought I had my TikTok sounds queued up, but we'll leave it alone, right? Again, Liv Morgan, right? 9 times in this match, in this Royal Rumble match, right? She's one of the younger OGs, if you want to look at it that way. I believe right now. Let me see something here. Let's just see here in live time, excuse me. Since we also saw Tiffany Stratton come back, right? Shout out Tiffy time one time. Liv Morgan sitting at the ripe young age of 31, right? Shout out the 30-year-olds in the family in the camp one time. Family, you got to understand that when it comes to this age thing, we got to get away from who can and who can't do a thing. That's just not fair, sound, and right reasoning. Older people can do this just like the younger can, right? So Liv is still clearly in her prime. Although there is a suggestive thing we must be careful of, which WWE is good for. Again, more things that we're going to break down as we go along. This idea of constantly pushing someone onto somebody. Now, we know Liv Morgan has had an injury, right? She is coming back off injury. It's been a buildup this whole time. This is her grand, huzzah, if you will. I'm assuming she's winning at WrestleMania if there's some title, right? I'm assuming whatever the title, if there's some title. Of course, she's either going to be facing Stephanie Baker, right? Shout you out, sis, one time. Or she's going to be facing who's on the Jade Cargill, right? Oh man. Family, there again, we're talking about an image that they're pushing out. Okay. They do not want to see the Bianca Belair image, family, is one type of personality in the black community. Do you understand? Right. Sister got a bit of an attitude. It's not an overt amount. We're just saying what it is, because she let Charlotte Flair know you don't even go here. Right. So, but it's wrapped in this kind of thing that's like, we're bringing the young girls up. It's a whole thing. Understand that there's also colorism that's involved, because again, when you look at the Willie Lynch letter, we're talking about the mentality behind the imagery that WWE is playing with, that they're also okay giving you subpar wrestling content, family. I'm sorry for who this is going to offend. We do not mean to offend anyone, but they're going to give subpar wrestling content just to put across using black imagery for them to make money off you, family. And when it comes to the black community, listen, our Muslim brothers and sisters got it already. Don't you understand that WWE just had their event in Saudi over by our Arabian brothers and sisters? They got their stuff set up that massa goes to them. When we said this a while ago, family, we going to stand on it. Black brothers and sisters, our Latin brothers and sisters already did it. And we understand when we say Latin, we talk in Rome. We're not doing this spin like it's it's what Rome gave to the various tribes in that which we call Latin America. Same thing when we use the word Hispanic. That's why it's going to be good to see the Super Bowl this year. I want to sit there and watch the halftime show and just let my mind absorb another language, even if I don't understand it. How disrespectful for Europeans. Family, say what it is now. And this goes for other cultures who get in this bag too. You over here in the Americas, family, do you know how many tribes were speaking different languages before Massa came calling? But we don't study that stuff. Well, I know we don't. to then sit there and talk about what you don't understand their language. So disrespectful. This is why the rest of the world has a problem, family. Don't you know that? Again, how many groups of people, family, while we do this minority majority mess that we fall for with massa, how many, we're just saying what it is, how many people groups, family, do you think is across the planet? We're not respectful because we've taken up the spirit of massa. The way we say it on this podcast is we've sucked down Miss Syrup. Since you had Kendrick Lamar win, right? He won another Grammy, brother. Shout you out one time. We got to have this environment, family, where where we fall way too much for their caricature. Vaudeville didn't end, y'all, right? The minstrel shows didn't end. It just expanded into a different way that suits their needs, right? It just suits their needs. So I'm trying to figure out where we're okay with certain imagery being put in front of us. You know, it was unfortunate to see Lash Legend, family, right, have to go through all these eliminations. And for our Saudi brothers and sisters, unfortunately, to keep saying that she was overrated. When we have watched strong folks, listen, this is aside from the imagery that they're trying to put there. You're trying to put the brash family. We're just saying what it is. Us in the community, we already know what it is. You're trying to put one certain type of, where's Kalani Jordan at? We know she was in the match. Shout you out, sister, one time. All right. Now we got to put an applause on that. Hang on a sec. We seen you in the match and you was doing your thing, sis. We're just trying to figure out when you hitting the main roster. I understand they brought in a sister from the WNBA. Again, big, tall, dark brown sister with the lashes. Because again, we spend good amount of money on, but I'll leave that alone because we know what they're playing off of with Tanae. Come on, family, okay? We got to stop the charade here. We understand the powerhouse black woman. We get it. We talking the bedrock of this nation on powerhouse black women. We get it. Wrestling content is missing, family. Let's stop the hoax. This is no knock on our brothers and sisters. But in a thing where we already know that the thing itself is being attacked for a lack of wrestling content, now you just giving us more. Listen, we've already talked about this with Nia Jax, where she's hurt people in the ring, right? This is our dear Samoan sister. This is just a thing, family. We came off the diva era where everybody was just flopping around and, you know, because again, masses caricature of the white woman only can be this kind of blonde haired, dincy type of, you know, come on, family. That's all what it can be. That's all the woman can be to them. This is why we have to have a little bit of grain of salt when we start talking about the so-called white woman. Because they're a patsy for whatever they get off the back end is just a patsy to put on men. That's why you see so many of them calling them out now. Because you've been duped. You've been boozled. You've been hornswoggled, right? And that's normally what happens when you figure it out and you start calling out, folks. That's what it is. Which is a shame, speaking on sideways off this topic here with caricature and imagery, right? Colorism and the like. For people to be sitting here talking about this thing we just played here with Bad Bunny, family, and we're going to sit here like this thing ain't right, or it is right. I don't know. Again, that's like saying the Trail of Tears is okay. We know it's not. Well, we're not guessing. We know it's not. That mess happened over in Venezuela is wrong, family. You say it right with your big chest. They're going to come cancel you anyway. That's what massa does. Speak the truth. Let's continue on here, right? Before your boy get going. We get going on other stuff here. So again, this is the note here. We had to break out the notes for this. This also gets, speaking of that whole overrated thing, Y'all seen what happened with I Show Speed when he went over to Africa? Over in Algeria? I believe it was over in Algeria. And they sitting there throwing stuff at him. Again, somebody can shout me out in the comments as to why, but other than the fact that you're wearing a rival's shirt, jersey, kit, I think kit is the word that they use in football, right? Although you doing that, family, we got to be throwing stuff at this brother? Ain't this supposed to be about unity? Which one are we doing? See, again, family, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. That still don't mean you don't go looking for the kinfolk. Another thought that came to my mind before we had hopped on, right? This idea of this is something that you find in the Christian faith. Some of the things that are in the Christian faith that are worth holding on to instead of this kind of, hey, everybody is bad, get rid of them kind of thing, is that we hide behind and we anyway. Again, all you got to do is go back into history and know, and it's already the guiding light. You've already been told. Family, again, in a month that's about studying Black history, expand to some church history. Look how the church dealt with the Negro in the beginning. That's going to let you know how they deal with them now. Because unless you've renewed your mind, guess what you're going to do? You're going to go back to your old programming. Or the same programming, I guess, if you want to say it that way, right? What are we doing throwing stuff at I Show Speed? We just trying to connect. But you know what? When you look at a whole mess, how it broke down in Liberia, I'm sorry, y'all. And we do a good dance. We talking about a lack of solidarity. Still playing around with, oh, this ain't, what you mean this they problem? This, no, that's they, or it's our problem. No, it ain't our problem. That's they problem, KJ. As long as you keep playing masses divide and conquer game, do you know who wins that? They do. Nobody is telling you, family, you're supposed to be around the people who do not care about you. The point is to be around the people who care about you. So we wouldn't be worried about, oh, so you stand up for them, they won't stand up for you, family. Why would you be around people who why would you be around people who's going to stand up not for you? Who does that? So here on this note with Lash Legend and Jay Cargill, I want to say it without question. WWE is trying to benefit from certain Black culture characteristics without a real payday for the Black man and woman. This is what you're seeing with Trick Williams. What you think that is? Whoop that trick, bro. We whooping tricks. Hey. I get it. And that brother got aura a mile long without question. But you in the pimp jacket, you shaft, family, what do you think they're doing? Now we can go off of, well, Trick Williams, he wanted to have that kind of caricature too, KJ. Yeah. For as much as the man gonna sign off on what makes him money and doesn't make him money, don't you think there's other caricatures they've said no to? Nothing against William. I think I want to say is William R. Shyster, right? It was one of the members of the Rotunda family, like Bray Wyatt and the gang. Shout you out one time, sir. But at the same time, we seen Virgil, some backup bodyguard. We've seen Ahmed Johnson, big strong Black brother. Unfortunately, they just had another big strong Black brother in Obafemi play masses, kind of pawn to Brock Lesnar, who is again accused of allegedly passing around some woman in an abusive manner. We on TikTok, so we got to say the word schmexual or schmexual. I don't even know. In a schmexually abusive environment. But we can parade him around in the Royal Rumble. Throwing around a brother. If that don't sound like something that the Conqueror did to the strong Black brother or so-called Black brother back in occupation times, I don't know what to tell you. There's a certain word for it. We won't use it because we're on TikTok, so I don't know which word we can use and can't use, right? But at the end of the day, family, don't you think that's a little backwards? And then for Obafemi to just get eliminated by Brock Lesnar like that? I thought we were supposed to be putting on the youth. Because before Mr. Lesnar gets in that ring, you had Oba. We talking about what was running NXT for a little bit, right? Oba, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans. Shout out Javon Evans one time. You sitting there, come on, family. You gonna act like they ain't make money off that? This was on top of the Nikita Lyons thing. Why ain't she in the main roster? Do all the big booty women have to stay down in the rookie league, WWE? Is that what that is? Because I understand you brought up Lash Legend. We get it, right? Again, we were just calling out what it is. It's a caricature. This is what they got to do. Again, black folks, get your own league. Major League Baseball showed their hand. Negroes called them out on it, and they created the most powerful league in baseball, family. The WWE. They're all about the same anyway to me. MLB had to come back calling. There's things on the books, family. You can find out MLB took from the Negro leagues. They don't give a damn about us, but they know they can't make it without us, family. So this is what you're seeing. And we have people argue that point down all the time. When we going to stop being abused? Same kind of thing you see in the household, right? Again, you can look across every state for the most part, and you're going to see that domestic or intimate partner violence is higher with women. Again, this is on the books, family. We're not giving you conjecture. We know that there are some documents with men, but the women are the ones who lead the pack, we're just saying what it is, being physically and mentally abused by people closest to them. Ain't no randos hitting them up in the bathroom like people want to get mad at transgender folks. No, this stuff that's happening, this stuff that's happening is happening right in the household. And we pray nothing for healing in the mind. Go get you therapy, whatever you need to do, man. Sisters, whatever you, brothers too, right? For those who have gone through whatever you need to do to get that healing. There's no reason to walk around this life in pain. Massa might have you for all the places where I think the Carolinas is the latest one with a snowstorm here as we've gone through this part of the season, right? There ain't no reason, family, there ain't no reason you got to go dog sledding to Massa's plantation and these states won't use your tax dollar to get that road right. They wait on the sun. You look at it, how they take our money, family, and come back and give you some weird scientific, again, we talking the scientific deceiver. And some of us who are of a certain age, like we forgot. So did the mental and the work ethic go downwards from the 80s and stuff? Because I know personally, them roads used to be clear to drive on with snowstorms more than what it is now. But now, all of a sudden, places don't know how to shovel out. People don't know how to shovel out. We all walking on ice like this is Brian Boitano in the Winter Olympics. Shout out the Winter Olympics one time. It's always good to have another opportunity to see how the world going to operate with the world on a big old stage. It's great. And we're going to have a chance to see it, family. Right? We know the United States is not the only great nation in this world. It is a haughty mindset to talk like that. But the Christian won't speak like this. They won't speak like this. They should, but they don't. Because they're too busy sipping the syrup. Let's continue on here, right? Again, you gonna have WWE benefit off black culture without having a real payday. We ain't talking championships, shout out Booker T and stuff like that with the five-time. Brother said 5-time WCW champion. We get it. We get it. But that's only going so far. Another note here, primarily any TNA characters except for Joe Hendry, maybe Jordan Grace, who was eliminated by Lash Legend, right? That won't go into WWE Oblivion. And yes, I'm accounting for Nick Nemeth as well. So whenever Dolph Ziggler, which we've already seen him once, whenever with that whole farce of a tournament for John Cena's retirement, I'm sorry, family, we're just saying, listen, This is a further note that I have here, right? We're going to say it now for time's sake, because we ain't trying to keep people all day. Again, there's way too much of this stuff here where we're just keeping people family. Anyway. Because again, if you think that a broke brother can't date, why would you be dating broke folks? The point is to have a job, to have a car, to have some semblance of yourself. If you wholeness, spirit, soul, and body. If you ain't there, why are you talking to them to begin? When I say, and this is me included, everybody, when I say we make too many excuses, damn it, we making too many. Talking about caricatures here with these black sisters and whether or not the wrestling is looking clean. Again, we understand the powerlifting. Okay. We get the attitude. We get the aura. All right. But the content has to be there. Nobody came half-ass in the Negro Leagues, family. When you got Hank and Josh and Jackie and Satchel and on, Tony Stone, not Tony Storm, shout out you sis from AEW, but we talking Tony Stone, right? Women playing in the Negro Leagues with the brothers. Sisters playing with the brothers. You talk about a league of their own. Family, this is about excellence. We're not trying to do this halfway. Man. And we understand people are already going to have their counters for this. We get it. This is how this works. This is just how it works. Okay. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss started off the thing. Shout to both of y'all out, right? We understand because of Charlotte's knee. They ain't going to say it. We're going to say it here. Because of Charlotte's knee, she cannot move and do what she used to do. Right. There's been some rumors, some talk of her ending her career here, and rightfully so. Go on and enjoy your life. She done got the money. You're the daughter of a Hall of Famer. Come on, we get it. We know WWE gave you a whole lot. Matter of fact, you put on Sasha Banks' career because of that, sis. Every time you was winning, she was winning. We get it. Okay. So this is what we're talking about with that. And unfortunately, in AEW with Mercedes Moné, there was no need to have all 50 belts on her talking about, the other promotions is going to get nobody was tuning into the UK women's family. Stop it. That clearly to me shows, hey, you were done wrong in WWE, so we going to overcompensate. Well, you don't have to overcompensate. There's this whole thing with TNA and WWE and folks is hiding behind this thing behind the scenes. Like they don't have TNA as an acquireship or as an acquired entity. Family, you don't cross. Listen, you talking about the company that, well, times have changed, Casey. Yeah. Massa don't never change. Two things constant. We're going to use this from Christian folks here. God never changes and neither does massa. Okay. That's how this works. All right. The same one you saw in the 1800s is the same one you will see in 2026, man. Oh, man. So Tiffany Stratton coming back. Let's continue on here so we can end up here. I thought, again, finish off this thought with Alexa and Charlotte. I thought it was really cool that they just 2 minutes or whatever it was, a minute, whatever, no fighting. Just playing back and forth with the fight. I thought that was spot on. Given what was coming next throughout the thing, spot on. Tiffany coming back. Tiffany Stratton is going to wind up getting that championship sooner than later, family. That's just what it is. Again, if you're talking about switching off from a diva type of thing where it's just a cheerleader flip-flopping all over the place to, again, women that can wrestle. We understand the body throws and stuff, but there is content here. And again, we're not saying that Lash Legend and them don't wrestle for real. Okay. But we are watching a thing here where they're okay using a caricature or an imagery of a thing, and you do not have the full content there. We watched her eliminate them 5 women. We've seen it. Family, if they're not going to put on Raquel Rodriguez, what do you think they're going to do with Lash Legend? And without question, our Latino brothers and sisters are more. Listen. Our Latino and Latina brothers and sisters are more favored in. I know. Well, KJ, what you talking about? Because we looking at this ICE thing, brother. I know. We're talking about from what is still most accepted by them. That is without question. It's all colorism. Don't get me wrong. It's all a trick of massa. But what we're saying is they accept them more. You ain't. Do not think they putting on, again, the Jade thing is because of an AEW thing, not because they really want to put this woman on, family. We saying what it is. We are saying what it is. And we don't like admitting these things. Tiffany Stratton does of the bunch. And I know some people going to put in Chelsea Green. Again, if you are counting Lucha Underground, then yeah, the WWE run of Chelsea Green, hell no. Okay. They got her as this kind of, it's a weird, and again, another like cheerleader. She's shrieking all over the place. And I understand we give her credit for like the laughing and stuff, but and the jokes and everything. But again, the wrestling content. But when you look throughout the history of women's wrestling, the women who can wrestle, they put them on the bottom. And the one, never mind. Because we already know the defenses in people's mind. Let's see. The Hateful Lash legend from the crowd, and we just finished talking about this, was wild. I mean, this girl eliminated the Bella Twins, Charlotte Flair, right? Io Sky. Let me just see if I can pull up. I don't know if I can here. We'll see if I can. Because I think I reposted it. Yeah, we reposted it.
Jordan Grace in trouble on the shoulders of Lash Legend. Technically, Lash is in big trouble here too. We'll take one kick in the back and they're both going down. And now Jordan Grace eliminated by Legend. Nikki and Brie Bella exchanging blows with Legend. Lash now.
I will say this, right? Watching this clip, sis, if you're going to get legitimacy from this group, then as a big woman, you're going to have to show a few wrestling moves. That's going to put you over. Like, they can hate on you as much as they want to. We telling you without question. If you add in some more, and we've been watching her for a minute, family, so just please, if you add in some more, one or two other moves, they can hate on you as much as you want. You're going to show the mix of wrestling talent with your power. Okay? This is the same problem that Powerhouse Hobbs is going to have. Excuse me, Royce Keys. All right, we understand what we've seen so far is that Royce is coming from his son, so we get that, okay? So, and he just came up with that name, but again, it's the same thing for, brother, this is what it is, okay? And could they put on like this powerhouse type of person? Again, they're not going to do that. You're going to have to show them more, unfortunately, right? Unfortunately. What they want for real is Bianca Belair. The rest of the group is That's all. It's I'm just gonna say it. Okay, I'm done on this kind of thing. Like, you can't say what it is when you were looking at it. This woman eliminated Hall of Famers to overrated chants. You know that's wrong. But again, you put on a stage where they got a certain caricature they playing of you to make fun of you, not to put you on. So get your own league. And you won't have to worry about this. The rest of this thing, again, we talked about Kalani Jordan. Where's Jada Parker at? Where's Nikita Lyons at? Like, come on, y'all. Okay? We understand this is the one y'all picked. You got people already in your thing. You should have brought them over already. But WWE is notorious for that with NXT. Never mind. So again, it was cool. Sol Ruka. Right? I'll leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Because again, people got problems with Sol Ruka because she ain't again, you falling for colorism. If I could take the time, which I'm not going to because I've been on here for a minute, if I could take the time to talk about Walter Plecker and the way he's played around with what race and who's who and what ain't, family, we would stop a lot of this mess. They're just playing off of caricatures at this point. And it don't matter which culture, because the only one that's important to them is the so-called white person. Which again is just a dominant, it's a dominant classification they made up. Right? Again, when I'm saying dominant classification, I mean that whole term. All of that is made up for them to continue taking from what they've already took. This is how greed works. We can get into let me see. Again, I thought this pay-per-view was kind of mid, family. We're just saying what it is. AJ Styles and Gunther. What you want me to say, man? the W, you even see it with their own. You got to keep putting over Gunther. Why you have to? We don't have to put over Gunther no more. This man been on. What are we doing? He was on an Imperium. We don't have to do extra. But that's what they do. I think personally, AJ Styles, right? We'll see, right? My wife had shout out to you, honey, one time, right? That's one of them. She's my ride to die where it comes to wrestling, right? It's like the person that you pitch ideas off of and all that kind of stuff. So, thanks for putting up with me one time, man, right? AJ Styles, man, while 2026 is last year, I think he's going to show up in TNA. Because this man didn't, anything that a wrestler do, he didn't do. I know there's reports out there he's done. Well, we just can give it time. That's my thought. I could be wrong, right? Side note here, unless there is serious changes in WWE creative over the next era of their run, whatever this is, NXT, not NXT, Netflix, wherever they want to show up, right? ESPN with this silly PLE, and we just sounding weird with these three letters, right? Their run will be logo promotion and contract chasing, over and packed around wrestling, which is why AEW was created to begin with back in 2019, family. This is mess we watch. It's mediocre wrestling using caricatures to put them on for money. You got these hip hop. They went from rock all the way in the 90s and all this thing. So was it supposed to be some level of inclusion? Family Booker T had his own wrestling promotion. You understand? The property cannot own property. That's in the slave talking about black history. Yeah, property can't own property. Do you think that changed? Sammy versus Drew was a filler match, family, because we already knew Sammy was not winning. You already know. Okay. So there's that with Sammy. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say this. Sammy should have already been champion a couple times, but we're just saying what it is. Okay. You get into the men's match again. We already spoke about Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. I thought that was, but again, that's kind of the caricature. Massive Ben, never mind. We're gonna leave it alone. Braun Breaker being stomped out by who I believe is Seth Rollins. Okay. Because they've already played this over and over again with this Seth Rollins isn't hurt. He is hurt. Like they let the cat out the bag. So I wouldn't be shocked if that character was that in this black hood was not Seth Rollins. We'll see if they say it right away this Monday night or if they wait. Right. I thought it was cool because, again, we just want to give the keys over to unless we're trying to build up some type of thing to have Braun Breaker win at WrestleMania, which that would make total sense. Okay. Just for the way they're doing this with Rick Steiner's kid. So we get it. Okay. I believe he is. I think he is his kid, right? It was cool to see Oba, again, for as much imagery that Massa play with, it was cool to see Oba standing in the ring by himself there for a little bit. Little did we know what was to come. But him eliminating all those people for once, again, you did it with Brock Lesnar, right? Did anybody remember that Rumble a while ago? Where he's throwing out everybody? Yeah, I know. We don't remember things, family. Anyway, and we all subjected to that, even me. We talked about the Powerhouse Hobbs thing. Again, we talked about the Lesnar thing. Gunther coming back is just more of this. The creative is dead, family. Yeah, it's rough. We're trying to play up to the kids. Let kids know that they can fight, family, wholesomely. Can we do that? They keep training our kids to be all passive and stuff, knowing that the other side is training their kids to be monsters. Where's the defense at? Never mind. The Miz, that was a waste of a pick. We understand what we're doing here, but a lot of that is a waste of a pick, family. Okay, again, you got a lot of people underneath that we need to see. We keep seeing these people that they're older, they're reaching their 40s. What are we doing? La Parker was cool to see. La Parker was cool to see. We get it. But, yeah, nah, man. So the match of the night for your boy here as we end. Definitely the Women's Royal Rumble. I find this interesting. We have this note here. Roman saying on the Pat McAfee show, and they talked about it during the pay-per-view, that the WWE is mediocre. This is Roman Reigns. This is Roman Reigns' words, man. Only for the WWE to have Roman Reigns win the Royal Rumble. Yeah, we've seen this story before, family. It's stale. AEW, Ring of Honor. I don't care where. Y'all get your act together, because WWE showing that they think they can take their foot off the gas. This is what this is. And unless they start showing the fans something different, some eyeballs might be watching some more AEW TV programming here pretty quick. Right? That's what we got for y'all today, family. Again, God, we don't mean nothing against our black brothers and sisters. We don't. We the first people over here. We've already gone on record about that. We can't be making fun of folks, but we seeing what we seeing. And while we trying to hold on to this little bit of achievement, masses okay kicking us in the nuts. Okay. Family, thank you for walking this road with me. I love y'all. God bless y'all, man. We will talk to you soon. And until then, and until next time, and as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.